Hello and welcome back to the Mainly Sports Podcast. He's Jeesh,
And he's Shoop.
and today's podcast is on top 10 overrated NBA players since 2000. So let's get into it. So number 10 on my list, since I'm going first, is LeBron James. Is number 10. We're about to get controversial up in here. And here's why. Yes, great regular season player. He's on the decline, okay? And he's got, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, whatever. Cool. But let's talk about them playoffs. He's got a little bit better in the clutch moments in the regular season, winning games on final shots. That's fine. But in the playoffs, he disappears. And he's gotten to the point on defense where Kyle Kuzma has to push him in covering. But if you look at all of his playoff runs, he has choked in every single one. And even some of the ones that he won, he choked. Like Kyrie Irving won them that finals championship in 2016. And even before that, the Warriors won it for them after going up 3-1. Draymond getting suspended, everything that happened in that series, it won it for LeBron James. LeBron James didn't win that series, so his team won that series, and he was part of that team, yes, but he didn't win it like everyone says he did, and he didn't win it both times with the Heat. So, and I think Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh have something to say about that as well, along with Mario Chalmers and Shane Battier. But, anyways, yeah, LeBron James number 10.
Okay. I could see where you're coming from with that. Number 10 there's an asterisk next to him because he really hasn't had a long career yet. But as of right now, this dude is overrated. And it's Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is overrated right now. Until he can prove that he can knock down jump shots from longer than 10 feet away, then yeah, he's got his ball handling and his passing down and all that good stuff. But to say he's an elite player in the NBA right now is far fetched. He's not even close to elite yet. I give him maybe 2, 3, 4 years maybe, and I think he may be off my top 10. But right now, Ben Simmons is my number 10.
Number 9, I have Paul Pierce. And here's the reason why I don't have him higher up. And I know probably a lot of people have him higher up on the overrated. But when he didn't have anybody, this man was putting numbers up. And then when he did have somebody, he delivered. Like, they won a finals. But my biggest thing with him is that he was never a good passer. He was never a very good defender. He just was slow. He was overweight and slow. His rebounding, he was lazy. He was lazy on the rebounding. What? I think I actually wrote down the stat in here. He's 5.6 rebounds per game. As a small forward, that's not very good if you're supposed to be one of the best of all time. Which somebody put him number 5. Kendrick Perkins put him number 5 small forward in NBA history, which is bogus. But I do have to point out though, 36% from 3, that's pretty dang good when he wasn't considered a sharpshooter. And Carmelo Anthony, which now that I'm thinking about it, should have been on this list, which he's not on mine, which he's now number 10 on my list. LeBron can move back to 11, but we're not going to talk that. I just said that. But Carmelo Anthony was known as a scorer. His three-point rating was not very well. It wasn't very good. His percentage wasn't very good. But Paul Pierce, 36%, never got credit for that. I do have to give him that. Even though he's on my overrated list, I do got to give him credit for almost having 40% completion percentage. So,
yeah.
Or success rate. But yeah, number 9 is Paul Pierce for me.
Okay. Number 9 on my list. Now, I know you have been one person to come out and say that this guy's the greatest. That's a joke. But he's not anywhere near it. He had that one month.
Linsanity, baby!
Lynn is the 9th most overrated player since 2000. Yeah. So, yeah, the Linsanity is just bogus. It was no Linsanity. He had his 15 seconds of fame. He was not that great at all.
Wait, I don't mean to argue with your list, and so don't take it this way. But how can you put him on that list when like he can't even stay in the league? Like, don't get me wrong, he was overhyped during Linsanity, but
Right.
that was a 1 month stretch, dude. Like, yeah, it went off into the next year, but then people realized pretty quick. You know what I'm saying? He became a role guy after that. So like, I don't know. It almost seems are you just overhyping Linsanity, or are you overhyping Jeremy Lin?
Both. Well, pretty much Linsanity.
Because Jeremy Lin, when after the whole Insanity crap happened and he just played his role, he was just a role player coming off the bench. He actually did very good in his NBA career.
Yeah.
But again, it is subject to opinion. So that's just my opinion. Like, you don't think LeBron James is overrated, right? Partially, overrated enough to be on the list, right? So
Yeah.
it's opinionated for sure.
Yeah.
But I just think he did. I think he just did well in his role. Linsanity was way too much. But in his role after that, I think he was a solid player.
Mm-hmm.
My number 8, we're gonna revisit this, is Ben Simmons,
Okay.
and I want to put him up higher, but the guys I have up higher, I can't do that because, like you said, he hasn't been in the league very long. He could always put up jumper, and his coach has said that he can hit threes. Just in the game, he won't take them, and that's what bothers me the most with him is that he can hit them, but he can't. But he's not taking them. Even when his coach challenged him, dude, just put up 1 3-point shot in a game. You're gonna get one open shot every single game, so put it up. I want to see 1 3-point shot from you every single game. He did that the first time and he made it, and then you didn't see it after that.
Yeah.
Like, that's what bothers me. It's almost like I hate how cocky it is, how arrogant he is, and just how much better he thinks that he is than everybody. That he just does not care to improve in his game that he needs to improve on. Like, yes, he's for a point guard, great at rebounding. For a very tall person, he's really good at passing the ball. Ball handling skills, very good for 6'10".
Yeah.
Very good. But dude, you got to be able to shoot. Like, not even a 3. At least get a mid-range jumper. Like, if you are not in the paint, you're not a threat. That's how bad your shot is. You need to work on your damn shot. And he refuses. And that's the biggest problem with me right there. Why he's on my overrated list is because he refuses to get better at what he does not excel in. And he thinks that he thinks that driving to the paint is going to get him a Hall of Fame career. Which could it? Yeah, sure. It's working for Giannis, but what did Giannis do? Giannis went out and started working on his jumper, and now he's a threat from 3. Not a huge threat, but as long as Giannis can hit 30% from 3, that's a threat. Because now you have to cover him out there. Same thing with Ben Simmons. He would be the same animal that Giannis is if Ben Simmons just cared as much as Giannis did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, Giannis puts in the...
Yeah. So that's number 8.
So we both had Ben Simmons on the list. I figured that was going to happen. So
do who's
that
on my
down.
List? Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I didn't put him on there either.
He was close though.
All right, number 8. I was kind of iffy on putting this guy on the list, but just the name he has and like he's got the championships and everything. But Tony Parker, he's just not.
Yeah.
He's not that great. He got carried by Tim Duncan his whole career, for one. I mean, like, he has average stats at best. He's not elite. I mean, I'm not saying that everyone's saying that Tony Parker's elite, but they basically say that, oh, Tony Parker, he's one of the best point guards at the time when the Spurs are winning championships all them years and stuff, and when they were elite. But yeah, Tony Parker it's just something about him. I can't back it up really, my argument, but just something about Tony Parker that just makes me feel like he's overrated.
I 100%. That's how I feel about a couple of guys on my list, where it's a little bit harder to back it up on why they are overrated, but it's just the eye test, in my opinion, or like the numbers might not support it, but it's what happens at the end of the day, you know, or what they had around them.
Yeah, if Tony Parker was on my team and I needed someone to score a last-second shot, the ball ain't going in his hands.
No. It depends on what the shot was and what time it was.
Right.
Because
I mean, if he's going to go in for a little floater, hell yeah, Tony Parker's the guy. But anything else?
Are you going to take a Tony Parker floater for 2 to win, or are you going to take a big fundamental Tim Duncan back
I'm
down in
gonna
the
take a Tim
paint for a
Duncan.
game-winning
Yeah,
two?
I'm gonna take a Tim Duncan bank shot. So,
Exactly. Or are
I
you
like.
going to take a Manu
I think I
Ginobili jump?
even. Yeah. I'd take a Manu Ginobili jumper or a Danny Green 3-pointer. So
Yeah, later on in your career. Yeah,
right.
exactly, exactly. So no, I feel where you're coming from with that. So my next one. Wait, you didn't have anything else left to say on Tony Parker, did you?
No.
Okay, cool. My next one, number 7. It goes along the same lines as Ben Simmons, but at least
Mm-hmm.
this person cares enough to try. DeMar DeRozan.
Okay.
He is a mid-range assassin. That's what he does. He's got a mid-range shot, and that's more than I can say for Ben Simmons. Um, but my biggest problem with DeMar DeRozan is everybody in the Raptors community, all the fans, crying and complaining about DeMar leaving, like being traded for Kawhi. I get part of it because they knew Kawhi wasn't going to stay,
Yeah.
but you are trading for a chance at a finals championship, which you guys ended up winning. DeMar DeRozan, him staying with Kyle Lowry, was never going to give that to you, ever.
Yeah.
He's not. He's nowhere near the quality player that Kawhi Leonard is, and they got Danny Green in that. That's another shooter right there. And
Yeah.
it bothers me so much with how much. Trust me, I get loving somebody for your team, 100%. Like Isaiah Thomas when he got traded, that sucked because of the bond that Celtics fan built with him through his MVP push that season before. So I get
Yeah.
that, but at the end of the day, were we a better team with Isaiah Thomas? 5'9" on defense? No, we weren't. So it just bothers me that they tore up the Raptors over that decision. The fans did, and then now look at them. Drake got a championship ring, and everybody's all happy in Toronto. But and I think for the fact that they did give up Kawhi Leonard, the Spurs did for DeMar, helps in his thing is overrated as well. Because I would never, even I know Kawhi Leonard's not coming back, I would have tried to get something better than DeMar DeRozan because it did help
Yeah.
get better. They were going to miss the playoffs this year in 20 years, and it was only be their 7th time ever for the Spurs to miss the postseason. What
Yeah.
did DeMar really do for you? Which honorable mention from the Spurs, LaMarcus Aldridge. He was an honorable mention from the Spurs because
Yeah.
Aldridge hasn't done anything since Portland. But that's my number 7.
Okay. Moving on to my number 7. This is a guy that I think his stats used to be really good when he played as the star player on the team. But DeMarcus Cousins is not as good as his stats say he is. Um, the rebounding's there, but he's got like right now he's got the injuries. Obviously, I don't think he's ever going to recover from it. Um, the anger issues he has ruined him over the years with the technical fouls and all that stuff. He's not a team player whatsoever. I mean, when he got traded to the Pelicans with Anthony Davis, he you it's just like something there's like a light switch that flicked and it just like turned him into he wouldn't be a first option for it. I call him a third option right now if he was healthy. He's a third option for a team. He's just turned lazy. Kind of like what you said with Shaquille O'Neal. When
Dang, you're going in hard on my boy here.
so yeah, DeMarcus Cousins. I don't think he's ever going to play more than 20 minutes in a game per
Maybe he
game.
tore his Achilles, bruh.
Yeah, he's done. His
You gotta
career is
give, you gotta give him time. Dude, if that's your number 7 and you said all that about him, I want to know what you're about to say to these next 6 dudes. Holy crap. You freaking ate that man alive, dude. You're forgetting though that 20 points per game, man. I think I'm pretty sure DeMarcus Cousins has like 20 points per game. That's pretty good, dude. 20 points, like what, 11, 12 rebounds probably.
for his career.
Yeah,
The majority of his career, he was the number one option in Sacramento. When Sacramento was the last time they made the playoffs?
Yeah, but dude, he was doing stuff that no other center was in the league at that time. Though. Putting up
Yeah.
50-point games, 20 rebounds, 40 20s.
Well, you don't have another player on your team. Yeah.
Oh, I realized you haven't said Paul Pierce yet either, too. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. If you're saying all that about him, I don't want to hear what you're going to say about Paul. But is that it for? Are you done? Ripping him a
That
new anal cavity?
that is, that is it for calling out DeMarcus Cousins. Yeah.
Okay, dude, you realize he's like a bigger Kevin Durant, right? Like he takes everything very personal. So let's hope.
Come at me, bro. Come at me at Cousins, at Boogie Cousins, whatever your tag
Oh wait,
is
no,
on.
actually, no, we're good. You can say whatever you want about him. You just can't talk about his family. Forgot about that.
That's
Remember him
right.
trying to beat up the reporter in the locker room. All right, my number 6 is actually along that lines. It's Andre Drummond
Okay.
because if if we were talking about just rebounding and half court shots, Andre Drummond's one of the greatest centers of all time. But we're talking about defense and we're talking about scoring, and he really can't do either one. Defensively, he's all right when he tries, but
Yeah.
he's just lazy, just like Ben Simmons, pretty lazy. Like, dude, people didn't give Cleveland didn't give up much for him to get him from the Pistons, and
Hmm.
people were like, oh, the Pistons got fleeced. The Cavaliers totally won that deal. How did the Cavaliers win that deal? They already have a guy that doesn't like to rebound when he easily can. Kevin Love. Kevin Love was tearing the league up with the Timberwolves, and then he went to Cleveland and then stopped doing it all.
Yeah.
Like, and now you're just doing the same thing. You got this. You got a younger guy. He's what 23, 24, and that's the crazy thing, dude. He's so young, and he already doesn't care, and that's what
Hmm.
sucks. As long as he's pulling in his 12, 13 rebounds a game, he doesn't care how many points he scores, how many blocks he gets. He doesn't care, and that's what bothers me with Andre Drummond. So he's number 6.
All right. So yeah, Andre Drummond was on my honorable mentions list. Um, I thought about putting him in there. I probably could have put him in there for Jeremy Lin. Going to number 6 for me is kind of a tough one because I always thought this guy always put on a great show. But Blake Griffin's number 6 for me. Think about it, like what can he do? He can dunk the ball. You can't win games dunking the ball. Like he was a great dunker. He put a lot of posters on people and everything. Like he put him and Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan Lob City. Like, but it did not work because they didn't have anybody to shoot the ball. And yeah, he can only dunk. He's got a career filled with injuries. He cannot stay healthy whatsoever. He did get out of LA and he went to the Pistons and that still didn't help him.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what I consider Blake Griffin. He's an average player. I mean, he did develop a 3-point shot, but it's not that great. So yeah, that's why he's number 6.
See, Blake Griffin probably would have made my list if he didn't have that last year in Detroit, when he showed, like when Detroit, not this season that got ended short, but the season before when they made the playoffs, he
Yeah.
showed, or with him, they are a cusp playoff team. Without him,
Yeah.
they showed that they are a joke. So
Hmm.
I I kind of gained a little bit of respect for him and how he pretty much destroyed his need to try to win that series. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I gained enough respect for him to not call him a overrated player. But
Hmm.
you're right, he is average. He is.
I mean, I'm calling him over it. Don't get me wrong. I love Blake Griffin, but yeah, I gotta spit facts over here. Well,
Uh,
my opinion.
it goes. That pick literally goes with my next 2 picks that are flashy players.
Hmm.
Because that's what Blake Griffin is. He's a highlight player, and that's what these
Yeah.
2 players are. My next guy is Vince Carter at number
Hmm.
5. We talked about this earlier. Yeah, I don't really think I need to really say too much. He won a dunk contest, and that's what he got famous for. And then what did he do on the court? Not much, really. Let's look at his averages. He's known as one of the greatest of all time, and has 16 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 3.1 blocks, or assists per game. That's not Hall of Famer in my eyes. If you just look at that, granted he's gonna be, but for his longevity and everything else.
Right.
Plus his statistics have gone down from being on the bench and all this other stuff, coming off the bench for the last 5-6 years of his career,
Yeah.
especially with Atlanta. But still, 43% from the field, 37% from three. The 3-point percentage is what surprised me. I didn't think he was going to be as good from three. And I gave Paul Pierce a nod for 36% from three. So I'll give Vince Carter a nod for 37% from three. But still, all around game, he's a highlight player and not a winner, just like Blake Griffin. So that's why he's number 5.
I almost put Vince on my list. I didn't put him in my notables. I'm gonna put him in my notables, my honorable mentions right now because of what you just said. But anyway, we move on to the top 5 for me, and here you go, Paul Pierce, number 5.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna rip him a new one. His jump shot from mid range was basically his only game. He could shoot 3-pointers, like you just said. You proved that point. Also you said he cannot pass the ball. Not good at all at passing the ball. His assists are horrible. I'm not gonna rip him a new one, but I'm just gonna say this at the end. He is not Dwayne Wade.
Well, no, Dwayne Wade's a shooting guard, so you're right. But did you see Dwayne Wade coming to play in an NBA game after being stabbed in the stomach like 9 times?
No.
No, Paul Pierce did. He might have been overweight his entire career. He might have been a little mini Charles Barkley, but he was a tough son of a bleep, 100%. That's one thing I can't take away from him. Okay, so number 4 for me, another fat, flashy player, Jason White Chocolate Williams. Because,
Whoa.
yeah. Yep. Do you not agree with me?
Go ahead, talk.
All right, so what was Jason Williams known as? Known as a flashy, amazing dimer, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had passes that nobody could stop, right?
Yeah.
So then, can you tell me why he only averaged 5.9 assists per game?
Probably turned the ball over a lot.
The reason why he got that notoriety was off of a rookie showcase game. That's where he did his famous pass that everyone looks at with the elbow.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it happened, in a rookie symposium. So it wasn't even an actual game, where they play actual defense. So right there tells me you ain't that good of a passer. 5.9? No, I'm good. With only 10.5 points, how about his shooting? 39% from the field, 32 from three. I give him a little bit of a pass from three because it wasn't a 3-point league back then.
Mm-hmm.
You had sharpshooters back then. Not everybody could shoot. You just had sharpshooters, a la Kyle Korver. It's his numbers don't back up everything people say about him. When everybody thinks back on Jason Williams, they think, oh, the white chocolate, the street baller. And he should have stayed on the streets because the NBA was not for him. So that's my number 4.
Okay. Anyway, so
You don't like that pick, do you?
Huh?
You don't like that pick, do you?
No, I mean I agree with you, but I just don't like it because he was a Heat. Number 4 is Carmelo Anthony, crybaby, no team play. He can't finish. I mean, he can finish. He's clutch. He clutch sometimes, but he can't. I'm talking playoffs.
Yep.
Carmelo Anthony, no playoff Carmelo Anthony I've ever seen is good at all. Granted, he didn't ever really have a team. He had Amari with him, but I almost put Amari on this list, honestly. The whole New York Knicks organization is overrated. I'm going to go there.
Yeah.
But Carmelo Anthony, great in the regular season, shooting-wise.
Yeah.
Clutch shots, come down the court, Carmelo Anthony, ball in his hands, he's going to knock it down. After that, after 82 games, he's useless.
Yeah.
And
I would agree with that.
now he's an average. I mean, he's old now, but he's an average player.
I guess that just goes to show how overrated he is because I didn't even think of him when I was making this list. So I think that goes to show. Carmelo Anthony didn't pop in my mind. And once I thought of it earlier on the list, immediately I was like, yeah, he's on this list. But I didn't put him on there. And as big of a LeBron James hater I am, I'm actually willing to bump LeBron James off this list just to put him on there. Like that's how much overrated he is. But the Amari Stoudemire comment totally can't be any more wrong with that.
Really?
Like with the Knicks, yes, but with the Suns, and was it
That's
really?
what I was talking about. I was talking about Nick's Stoudemire. I wasn't talking about Sun Stoudemire.
But was
Sun
it really?
Stoudemire was decent.
Was it really all Amari Stoudemire's fault? Because he went from a team that passed the ball around. Like the Suns were the Warriors of today, not with how good they were, but with how much they moved the ball around and their tempo.
Yeah.
And so he had a chance to touch the ball. You go from a team that passed the ball like crazy to Carmelo Anthony that plays isolation. I would rather hold the ball for 20 seconds in his hands and then put up some ridiculous shot than actually get an open shot from somebody else that isn't named Carmelo Anthony.
Right.
So, I just feel like Amari Stoudemire didn't get a fair chance in New York because of Carmelo.
Yeah.
Just like Allen Iverson, kind of got screwed over in Denver. So, but yeah. So, my number 3. Now we're in the top 3 here. You've already said him, Tony Parker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got him high, dude. I got him high up here. I'm sorry, but of their big 3 for the Spurs, he is by far the worst one, and it always pissed me off that Manu Ginobili came off the bench because Manu Ginobili is a small forward shooting guard, mainly plays shooting guard, but later on plays a lot of small forward as well. Was a better passer than Tony Parker. Go and look at some of Tony Parker's laser passes. Look at not Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. Look at Manu Ginobili's behind the back passes. Look at his under duress passes. Like, all of Manu Ginobili's skills are better than Tony Parker that it takes to be a point guard. Manu Ginobili could have been their starting point guard. 100%. And Tony Parker could have been coming off the bench. Like, Tony Parker bothers me so much because he won all them championships and did the least amount. And he's another guy. He's a guy just like the guy that's at number 2 on my list. I'm not gonna say who, but he's just another one of him. And if you look at Tony Parker, 15.5 points, 2 rebounds, which that's not his job. He's not supposed to rebound, but 5.6 assists. Somehow, he couldn't even get as many assists as White Chocolate. So, yeah, and he was known for shooting, right? 49% from the field, decent.
Yeah.
32 from 3, that's not very good. What about 75% from the free throw line?
Was he 75%? That's horrible.
Yeah,
for him.
Yeah.
Point guard.
That makes LeBron James look a whole lot better, doesn't it? Right. So, yeah, in my opinion, number 3. He could have easily been number 2. My number 2 and number 3 could have been easily switched. But I went with Tony Parker at number 3.
Okay. So we both had Tony Parker on the list. I forgot how much you hated Tony Parker, to be honest. My number 3, still a current player, James Harden.
Yep.
My eyes, James Harden is overrated so much. Yep. He can score the ball, but he just shoots it. How many times a game does he shoot it? And he can't play defense. If you're gonna have end of the game on the line, and you have the defense out there, and you're playing against James Harden, you're going straight at him. If he ain't gonna stop you, he's just gonna let you go. He's also not a team player. He's selfish. There's not really much. Everyone who listens to this, who knows basketball, can probably agree that James Harden is overrated and overhyped.
Dude, I'm at a weird crossroad, man. Because I'm really about to defend James Harden right now. And I can't believe I'm about to do this. But I'm going to defend James Harden. Scoring, yes, he's a good scorer. But what he's better at is drawing fouls. And that's a skill. It's boring. It is boring as hell. But that's a skill. Does he get calls because he is James Harden? Yes. Does he travel a lot? Yes. But he finds ways to get calls. And it's pretty easy nowadays, but still. Defense-wise, before this past season, I would 100% agree with you. But this season that got canceled now, and possibly come back for the playoffs. But he actually was trying on defense. He was stepping in front of people. He was starting to play some defense. So I got to give him credit on that. He wasn't very good, but he was at least trying.
Yeah.
And then for the selfish player, that man can pass the ball. Like, I get it, kind of, because he likes to score. Huh?
And he can pass the ball, but he don't.
Bull crap, he don't. Do you want? I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna say who my number 2 is, and then while you're talking about your number 2, I'm gonna pull up his assists because he's a good passer, dude. I think he ran last year, not this year, but last year he ran point guard for them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good distributor of the ball. He sees the court because he is a good scorer. And he sees how to move on the court to get fouls, to get where to be to get an open shot. He knows all that stuff. So he's a really good distributor in my opinion. I think that's where I wanted to defend him the most was the selfish player because he is, I guess, necessarily selfish because he wants to have good games. And he's not having good games. He's got to throw a fit, but he can pass with the best of them. So that's just the one thing I have to defend him on. But number 2 for me, Draymond Green, and for the same reasons as Tony Parker. Or is anybody going to say that Draymond Green is better than Steph Curry? Is anybody going to say that Draymond Green is better than Kevin Durant? Is anybody going to say that Draymond Green is better than Klay Thompson? Nope. Draymond Green averaged, 9 points, I think it was? Yeah. 9 points in his career, almost 7 rebounds, almost 5 assists for his entire career, shooting 44% from the field, 32 from 3. That means this man was dragged to the finals. I would take Harrison Barnes over Draymond Green. And I get it, he's a defensive guy. That's cool. But is he really that good defensively? Because look when he was supposed to lock down players, like the feud with LeBron and the Cavs. When he was supposed to lock down Kevin Love, did he? No. When he was supposed to lock down LeBron James, did he? No, he kicked him in the dick. Like, he's not as good defensively. He's a good defender, but he's not as good as what people think he is. They say, oh, Draymond Green's one of the most elite. No, he is not. And so, yeah, he's number 2. But Tony Parker easily could have been number 2. But, yeah, that's my number 2.
Okay, I agree with that. I didn't put Draymond. I should have, but I didn't. My number 2 does not play anymore. Gilbert Arenas. Overrated. And some people might not agree, and I get that. I mean, he had the stats. He could score. He could score the best. But he put up over 20, 25 shots a game to do it. And he turned the ball over a lot. And I just don't know what it is. It's like just looking at him again. Look, you don't have to look at the stats. It's just overrated. Played for the Wizards. He didn't do nothing for the Wizards. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was a decent player, but everyone thinks that he's like one of the best point guards ever. Well, not ever, but
Well, I was going to say, I won't go that far.
But everyone at the time when he played, everyone thought like, oh, he was the best player in the league. No, he was not. I don't think he was. That's all I want to say on him. I'm not going to downgrade anything else on him, but I just didn't think he was a elite player.
That's fair. Gilbert Arenas isn't on my list, but he could have been. So over the past 5 years with James Harden, this year 7.4 assists, last year 7.5, 2017 8.8, 2016 11.2, and then 7.5 for the 5th year going back. So when he was asked, "Hey, look, we need you to be our primary ball handler, and we need you to work the offense," he did that, and he did it well. Like, and he's out there, 8.1 rebounds, 6.4, 6.6, 6.1. Like, that's impressive, dude. I mean, is he Is he everything that everybody's saying he is? No. So he is overrated. I just don't think that overrated. That's all. I can't believe I'd be, defending James Harden this hard, dude. It's weird. Uh, so my number one of number ones, the most overrated player in the NBA of all time, not just our generation, all time. The most overrated player in any team sport is right here on this paper. Chris Paul. Chris Paul is the most overrated player in NBA history, in sports history, team sports history, is the most overrated player. I don't care what you do during the regular season. I don't care how many spinning layups you hit over 7-footers. I don't care how many random chuck-up shots you do. I don't care how many shoulder shimmies you do to Steph Curry and then tear your knee up. I don't care. But when it comes to the playoffs, you talking about playoffs? Yeah, we're talking about playoffs. And what has Chris Paul done? He's been there a lot, but I've never seen him reach the finals. Have you? I did see him choke the conference finals, though. I did see him do that twice. So you can be flashy, Jason Williams. You can be a scorer in the regular season. I don't know, maybe James Harden. Because that's one thing you didn't mention. James Harden, in the playoffs, scrub, choke artist. And Chris Paul happened to be his teammate at one time to help him choke in the playoffs. Chris Paul is the worst, most overrated NBA player in NBA history, especially when it comes to playoffs. Regular season, I don't think he's overrated. Regular season, I think he's going to help your team get to the playoffs. He's going to help your team win at least 50 games. But when it gets to the playoffs, he's going to help you lose very quick. I think he is so overrated. I could go on a rant for an hour, but I'm not going to. This man is overrated. His numbers look decent. His numbers look pretty good. 18.5, 4.5, 9.7 assists. That is very good. 9.7 assists is very good. Regular season stats, by the way. 37 from the three, 47 from the field. But then when he gets to the playoffs, he pulls a Donovan McNabb and just pukes all over the court. I don't understand it. And that's what makes me even more mad. Is because I have no reason to not like Chris Paul. He's never played for a team I didn't like. His trade got vetoed to go to the Lakers, so he didn't go to my rivalry team for my team. I have no reason to hate him besides him being a choke artist. And that's why I hate him so much. So Chris Paul's number one on my list. I'm going to end it there so I don't go on another rant.
Chris Paul is overrated. I did not put him on my list, though. My number one. I'm going to say why he's number one before I say his name.
Okay. Do you want me to try to guess who it is? Is that what we're doing?
We're going to start off where he will never be a number one option for a team. He will always be a number two. Can't shoot. He has anger problems. He's a horrible teammate.
Okay.
Not so much lately, but back in I wouldn't really call him a horrible teammate. Stat pad for days.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
He does his stat pad. I get it. He is a human highlight reel. Don't get me wrong on that. But I just do not like him, and he is overrated so much. And you know who I'm talking about. You know I'm talking about Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
He couldn't win without KD, so he complained and moaned and started the whole feud with him and all this stuff. And then they end up trading him to Houston, and now he can be James Harden's sidekick. He can be James Harden's Robin to James Harden's Batman or whatever they want to be. But I'm not even going to go in, like you with Chris Paul. I'm not going into details on this. Russell Westbrook's the most overrated player in the last 50 years. I'm not going to go all time. I'm going to go 50 years.
I'm not gonna defend him just because you didn't defend Chris Paul. So, but the only thing I will say about Russell Westbrook is yes, he's a stat patter, but that's still hard to get a triple double, averaging a triple double for a season, two
Yeah.
seasons.
Don't
That's
get
still
me wrong.
very hard. Like,
That is very impressive.
yeah,
But,
even if it did have a lot to do with stat padding, that's still impressive. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing. But I do agree that he is overrated. I don't hate him as much as you do, clearly. But, but yeah. So, did you want to do any honorable mentions? I don't have any honorable mentions, but
But I've already got the Andre Drummond, and that's the only one that you said that is my. I got 4 other ones. I got Andrew Wiggins.
yeah.
Yeah, Monte Ellis, Roy Hibbert, Kyle Lowry.
I don't agree with like any of them.
And you don't have to. They're not on my list.
Yeah, I just don't see how they're in the conversation. Like Andrew Wiggins, I think everybody's just disappointed in him. Honestly, like
Yeah.
I think everybody just looks at him and going, "Man, what a disappointment." Wow, yeah, Kyle Lowry. I would almost put Kyle Lowry on the underrated list. Like that's how different I feel about him compared to you. I would almost put him on my underrated list.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because he looks like Paul Pierce a lot, body type. I don't know. And Roy Hibbert, I would more put him on a list of busts than anything.
Yeah.
Because he did have that peak, and then just all of a sudden, just a steady, just pushed off a cliff, Wile E. Coyote style, dude.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I guess I would have to put Russell Westbrook in my honorable mentions for sure. And yeah, I got to put LeBron James in my honorable mentions. I know he was on my list, but Carmelo bumped him out of there. So yeah, I would have to go with that. Dude, could you, speaking of that, since we're talking about NBA in this video, could you imagine the playoffs coming back, dude? That would be the most watched playoffs in NBA history. You want Super Bowl numbers? You would get them. 100%. I don't care if nobody's in the stadium. You are going to get Super Bowl numbers if you bring the playoffs back. That would be crazy, dude. And your Heat would be in it. So.
Yeah, we play in the Indiana Pacers. Victor Oladipo's team. Wow.
I think you guys would beat them, but well, maybe not now, because now Victor Oladipo's at time. I think it would be a lot closer now.
Yeah.
If
we'll beat him.
If the playoffs started when it was supposed to, I think you guys would have easily beat the Pacers, because Victor Oladipo was still trying to get his swing, back into the swing of things. But now he's been healed for a while. I think it would be a very close game. Him, Sabonis, Miles Turner, he's a defensive juggernaut. Dude, that would be a really good game. That'd be a really good game. Or a series. That could easily steal the playoff series, dude. That would be a good series. Jimmy Butler going at him. That'd be good. But, all right. So yeah, let's hope for the playoffs to come back, and let's not hope that we gotta wait till December for next year to start.
Right.
That's what they're saying. So let's hope.
Thanks for listening to the Mainly Sports Podcast with Shoop and Jeesh. Make sure to leave a comment and give us your top 10 list. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow us on Instagram at mainly_sports. And that's mainly_sports, MAINELY_SPORTZ. Thank you. Till next time.